angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth was stone, our ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Good afternoon. Well, I'll tell you what, it's good to be not quite so busy. 5 packages went out today, so I was up till roughly about midnight last night getting packages ready to be shipped, and then I finished up early this morning, got them all packaged, labeled, out the door. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. We have what I think to be a pretty important topic today to discuss. I think it's ultimately important, and I'm going to try to cover both sides of the discussion. We'll get to that in just a moment. We're going to be talking about leaders, like prepper group leaders, but we're going to be talking about it from both aspects, from both being a leader and also being a prepper looking for a group. So some important insights that I think people might want to consider. So before we go there, I'll show you a little bit of what I was doing today so you know. We did put 2 new mugs up on preppernurse1.com, which, by the way, we'll be joining up with him tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is the first mug design. Well, actually, that was the second one I put up, but this is the first one I'm showing you. That image was sent in by one of his subscribers. I didn't actually do that image. I just put it on the cup. So anyway, I thought that was a pretty killer-looking image and excellent silhouette of his face. I wished I had those skills. I don't have the type of skills to, like, draw. I'm not an artist by any means, but anyway, that's one of the cups that is now on the website, and I also put this cup up on the website. That is obviously the design that I came up with that has been really popular with the t-shirts, and so I decided I would put it on a mug as well, so added a little bit more color to it, since when I'm doing sublimation I have the freedom to do colors and images and stuff like that. So added a little bit more color to it, and again, it's available over at preppernurse1.com as well. So, and then there's another design that I'm working on. Hopefully it'll be up there tomorrow. So, if not, sometime late tonight, whenever I can get to doing that. So that was fun. So I actually have one of each in stock, and it literally doesn't. Once I have the design done up and the printers are going okay, it doesn't take me long to do mugs at all. So I'm actually set probably tomorrow when I get the other mug design and put up. I'm actually going to put 6 actually in stock, and I'll probably box about half of the 6. The only reason I'm going to box half of the 6 is because in case somebody orders a shirt and a mug or whatever, then I don't have to make my fancy little boxes, which I'm going to make a video tomorrow on making those boxes because I think it's I think it's ingenious. I mean, I'll give myself a little bit of a self-promotion there. I think what I came up with was pretty smart, and the whole idea behind it, and I'll explain it more on the video, but I was trying to get the weight of the mug and the packaging and everything down under a pound, because if I'm under a pound, then I can ship first-class mail, which saves the consumer quite a bit of money on shipping. So that was my goal, was to be able to get my mug and the packaging and everything underneath of a pound, and at the same time be able to do so with free shipping supplies from the Postal Service. So I'll show you tomorrow how I do that. It's again, it's kind of interesting. A lot of work goes into it, but hell, I'm proud of it. I don't care. Anyway, so real quick update here on Amazon. I believe the books that were purchased have I guess shipped, because now I'm showing a difference in the revenue. We're up to $17.36. So thank you to anyone that uses our Amazon link. You can find our Amazon link in the description of our videos. You can also go to thewatchmannews.com, and you can use the search box here to search whatever you want. And, you put whatever you want in there, click go, and it will take you to Amazon. And if you make a purchase, well, then we will get credit for that purchase. And again, we appreciate it. This is, we don't have monetization on our channel. We purposely demonetized. We did that on our own accord. And not that we were making much anyway, but it was a little bit of income coming in. And it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it, and the whole principle of it all, we decided it was in our best interest just to demonetize. So if you want to support us, we don't obviously have the super chat available because we demonetized, but if you want to support us, please use our Amazon link. Or if you don't shop Amazon and you want to support us, we have a donate link on our website. You can either go to thewatchmannews.com/donate, or you can go to thewatchmannews.com and click that button there. And as long as it don't give me an error, it usually loads right up. And there you go. And that will allow you to donate to us, and it is much, much appreciated. We are actually in a position to where we need to put a little bit of money into the show. We need to get a green screen, we need to get some lights, and I need to get a cheap little webcam. So, it is what it is. If you can, it's much appreciated. So anyway, I'm not here to try to make a buck or e-bag or anything like that. I'm here to discuss a topic. So this thing with prepper leaders and also with those of us that would be looking to get into a prepper group, there's a lot of important things that you want to look for in a quote-unquote leader. Okay, let me have a sip of coffee here to get started on this. There's a lot of traits that you want to look for. And I would say, as an individual looking for a prepping group, one of those things that you want to look for is a leader that is actually well educated and well skilled themselves. Okay? And the reason why is because you're essentially putting yourself into a position to be on a bridge to nowhere. If the leader of the potential prepper group that you're looking at doesn't have the knowledge or skills to be able to repair things, they don't have the knowledge or skills to be able to basically manage a team of people and the equipment that they use, you are heading for a disaster, without a doubt. And this goes the other way too. If you are a leader of a prepper group and you don't have those particular skills, you might want to start working on it immediately. Because let me tell you what, all you have to do is have an astute person join your group, realize your weaknesses, exploit those weaknesses, and they can take you over rather easily. And they could actually do it diplomatically, right? You could have equipment failures and stuff like that, and an astute person will play that against you and be like, well, here you got this guy that's leading the group and all that, and they don't even know how to keep this going and that going, and, wouldn't we be better off with somebody that actually knows how to do something? So even as a leader, if you don't have those skills and those abilities, you might want to start working on it. Excuses go nowhere, right? Anybody can say all day long, well, I don't know how to do this, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, here's the thing, right? Right now is the time to learn, because you can learn almost anything you need to know right on YouTube. Right here on YouTube, you can learn almost anything you need to know. All you have to do is have the desire and the self-discipline, the motivation to do so. That's it. I couldn't tell you the amount of different things I've learned how to do either using YouTube or just a simple Google search bar. I am self-taught on most areas that I'm knowledgeable in. So, and when I say self-taught, I don't mean I just kind of created it in my own mind. I mean, I went and searched the information, I found out how to do it, and then I put what I learned to task and actually did it. I couldn't tell you the amount of times I've saved myself, and I couldn't tell you the amount of money I've saved myself just from having that self-discipline and that motivation to learn how to do something. I'm telling you, this is dangerous for both people looking to find a group and for those that are leading groups, both, okay? The thing of it is there is no security at all in a group with a leader that has no knowledge on how to keep things going. There really isn't. There's not security either way, okay? The thing of it is let's say you're looking to join a group and you're somebody that's knowledgeable in an area. Now, people that are in the position to where they're leading a group, okay, but yet they're doing it on the backs, primarily on the backs of others. Let me tell you something. This probably isn't their first rodeo. They probably went much of their life using, working, and manipulating people to be able to make things happen. Now, this translates to less security for you because since they're already in that mindset and they're already used to doing those type of things, then if for some reason you become invaluable to them, whether it be because of an opinion on something or whether it be because you call them out on something or whatever the case may be, if for whatever reason you become invaluable to them or less valuable to them, they'll replace you. They'll replace you. Again, remember, these are the type of people that have lived their life like this. So they know how to work people. They know how to seek out people to do the things that they want done. And that's what they'll do. And they'll replace you. Next thing you know, you may have put oodles and oodles of work, time, maybe money into a prepper group, and you're walking out with whatever you have on your back, if you're that lucky. Okay, simply because of the mindset of that quote-unquote leader of the group that you join. Okay, and again, you know, at the flip side, there's no security in it for leaders like that because somebody that is a little bit intelligent and can know how to play the game as well will use that to their advantage to maybe oust you from your own group. So, no security at all in there. See, here's the thing. Being a leader, if you want to be a leader of a group, or if you are a leader of a group, you want to know how to do these things for many, many, many reasons. For one, what if you have, one person taking care of this area and something happens to that person, right? And they're either not with your group or not with life anymore or whatever the case may be. And now you've got a hole in your system, okay? It would be nice if you, being a leader, would know how to do those things so that you can train somebody else to take their place. Okay? Very, very intelligent idea set there. Now, as far as the type of leaders that also know how to do this type of stuff, if you're a leader and you know how to do all these different things, and you have a group of people that don't, that puts you in a pretty good position, because that puts you in a position to where you're needed. Okay? The important thing is to find the balance there, and also the important thing is to, cross-train. In my opinion, cross-training is one of the most vital things that a prepper group can do. But be mindful of those quote-unquote leaders that may not have all the lights on in their house. Government today, our government, many governments across the world, they want to dumb down populace. Our school systems are nothing but indoctrination, whether you're talking about all the way from daycare, or I'm trying to think of what they call it, like daycare where they do the schooling, all the way up through college, getting a master's in college, right? They aren't designed to get you thinking for yourself. Okay, they're designed to get you to follow orders and only go by the information that they provide you. Okay, that is because your government doesn't want you to think outside the box. Your government wants to be able to be in complete control of everything. And if you are an intelligent person or an intelligent group and you are seeing over a mass of people that aren't so intelligent, it's pretty easy to control them. And that's what we're seeing right now in this country and countries all across the planet. We're seeing a largely dumbed down populace. And they're doing it through media, through medication. They're doing it so many different ways. Distractions. There are so many people distracted by so many things today. And I believe part of that is to keep your mind going so many different directions all the time. Because that way you can't focus on anything. The less they can, allow you to figure something out, the better off, the stronger they are, at least in their mind. And so that's one of the reasons why you see so many distractions going on. And I'm telling you, this media thing is a psychology like you would never imagine. Okay? There's psychology behind camera positions. There's psychology behind camera changes. Okay? They have spent the time, or spent quite a bit of time, making it to where, like, okay, when you watch, say, a TV show today, or even if you watch the news today, that camera is always switching views. And the reason for that is to keep your attention. Okay? And they started out doing it subtly. And then they increased it and increased it and increased it. Well, by doing that, they shorten the life of your attention span. And you can look this up. I've said it on the show before. You can look it up. It is a scientific fact. The average American has a shorter attention span than a goldfish. You can look it up. I mean, there's all kinds of studies on it. In fact, I'll show you, because I know that sounds a little crazy. Americans shorter attention goldfish. Oops. Right here. I mean, you pick an article. It brought up 496,000 search results. Here's one from Time right here. You now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. There you go. Right there, in your face. Okay? A big study that was done. And yeah, it appears to be true. This is done through social engineering. This was done through media, through medications, through any way possible they could do it. And they did it for a reason. Because once again, if they shorten your attention span, they also shorten your intelligence. Because people won't spend the time to learn anything anymore because it's just too much work. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that will be completely fine watching a video that's 3 to 5 minutes long, even if they're going to be dumber after watching the video, than what they will to spend 25, 30 minutes watching a video that thoroughly explains something. Okay? And that's how you get today, where we have memes. Okay? Now people can't even stand to spend the 3 to 5 minutes on a video. Now the only time they can spend is words on a picture and call it a meme. That is how bad it has gotten. And there are many, many, many things in life that go far beyond what a meme can explain. Okay? But they don't want that. They don't want that. All they want is quick, short, little talking points. That's all they want. Because that way, they can get you to think anything is a great idea. Okay, we've talked about this whole idea of drug testing welfare recipients before. That's a perfect example. On the surface, sounds great. Sounds wonderful. Okay, well, in reality, those corporations that make the drug testing, supplies, most of them are owned by members of Congress. Okay, so they're lining their pockets if they get you to vote this stuff in. They're lining their pockets. But let's talk about it beyond that, because it goes much further beyond that. Number one, the people most affected are going to be children. Children. Okay? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. That they would, most of these people, if they failed a drug test, it would probably be a failure because of marijuana. Really? So the kids are the ones that's going to suffer the most. But then you've got another aspect of it. If you're a parent, right, for whatever reason, something occurs that you can't feed your child because the money's not there to feed your child, are you just going to sit there and watch them starve? I mean, you're just going to watch them wither away into nothing and take their last breath and die because they didn't have a bite of food? No. I sure the hell would hope not. You are going to do everything you can to feed your child. That includes crime. So, while I'm not saying it's okay to be cracked out of your mind all the time while you're getting the government check, that's not what I'm saying. I never said that was okay. What I'm saying is this policy is dangerous. And the only way that they can even push this policy is through short talking points. Because if it's explained out like I just did, it begins not to sound as much like a good idea after all. And I'm telling you, it's that they've done it in several states. They've spent a fortune drug testing people and caught like a handful of people. A handful of people. That's it. It didn't make any sense when you look at the numbers for them to even have done it. And they're still pushing for it. They're still pushing for it. Even though the statistics, the numbers came back and it was a total failure, they are still pushing for it. Why? Because the people that own these companies are members of Congress. They are lining their pockets by getting you to demand this. So, it is what it is. But they've been able to manipulate much policy by using talking points. And more importantly, getting you to use those talking points. That's, many of these things, that's the only way that they're able to get this stuff through. So, again, and I know we got way off topic there, but, be very mindful. If you're somebody looking for a prepper group or you're somebody leading a prepper group, number one, if you're leading a group, be a leader. Be a leader. That means busting your butt now when you have all these opportunities to learn around you. Use those opportunities now. The more you know, as a leader, the less likely that somebody will even try to replace you. Just a fact. If you're somebody looking to get into a group, again, same thing applies. Learn as much as you absolutely can right now while it's readily available to you. Because that's going to make you an asset or more of an asset. And the more you know, the less desperate you're going to be, to put it plain and simple, which is important too, right? Just finding a prepper group isn't necessarily, you won. You know, what if you found a bad one? You know, I even got involved several years ago. There was somebody that was starting a homestead in Tennessee, and a lot of personal problems going on in my life. I was still married at the time, and so I thought, you know what, a fresh start would be great. So I was offered the opportunity for myself and my wife at the time and our children to move to Tennessee and help start this homestead. It was literally a spot out in the sticks, and other than a muddy lane going out through it, that's it. There was nothing there. It was completely unimproved property, and so I thought that that's what was, that's what the deal was. That we were going to go there, and of course, I was kind of desperate at the time. I wanted a new start. I wanted to get the hell out of here. I just, to be honest, it was a huge mistake. Huge mistake on so many levels. But, here I had a 29-foot camper, and moved it down there with all of our things, and did everything we could to get, ready for the oncoming winter. And I think I was taken. We were down there for about 2 weeks, and I busted my butt helping the guy. And I couldn't tell you how many trees we fell. I couldn't tell you, how much wood I cut up, or all the other stuff that I did to help him on his way. Basically, all the nut busting stuff. Okay? And once that was pretty well wrapped up, we put 2 weeks into it just busting our butts. And once all that stuff was pretty well wrapped up, I was sent packing. As in sent packing as, get out of here now. And without having a vehicle that would tow the camper and all that, guess what? I pretty much lost out on a ton of stuff. I was able to, somebody came and helped us, they helped us out tremendously, and that's when we went from Tennessee to Alabama. And so they had brought a big old Escalade and a decent-sized trailer behind them. So we were able to take most of our stuff, but we weren't able to take the camper. We had no way to take the camper. So I lost out on the camper, and I did lose some stuff. Not a whole lot, but I did lose some stuff from that. And I do honestly think that I was set up. I think that that's what their intention was. After being there for a little while, talking and whatnot, it came out that the man's daughter was wanting to move out there, but she didn't have a camper yet and all that. So I think, I think he pretty much told on himself when he was telling me about that. I think he was looking for a camper for her. He was looking for somebody to help him get the hard work done, or at least a good chunk of the hard work done. And it just, it's just one of those things. Don't put yourself in that position, okay? Don't be desperate, and make sure that you cover your ass every step that you go. Don't get me wrong, I had my ass covered. And I'm not going to go into any details, but I'll tell you what, with the way that I was done with that, I'll just say that it did not go unanswered. It absolutely did not go unanswered. So, that is so that is good. I don't know what's going on here. Don't know. Anyway, let me go ahead and read the headlines here. Let me go ahead and read the headlines here. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Had some dogs running around, and then there was a bunch of screaming. I think they were just screaming to get the dogs, but crazy. Of course, I don't know if you heard Blue going crazy a little bit ago, just barking, barking, barking. Nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Let's see. Okay, let me read through the headlines real quick, and we'll get out of the monologue, and we'll go from there. Actually, the first video that I'm going to do after I get through the headlines is actually one from Roy Potter QA. He did a live earlier this morning that was just absolutely out of the box remarkable, and said the very, very same things that I've been trying to say for a long time. And he just came right out and said it. I mean, it's nothing new. I've said it before too. But hopefully, you know, when Roy says it, hopefully that gets a little more traction, because I'm telling you, people are asleep in this country. There are so many people that are asleep, and the scary thing is they think they're woke. That's the scary thing. A large part of these people think they're woke, and they think that they're absolute patriots, and they, you know, it's pretty scary. Well, he lays it all out on the table. He did a hell of a job doing that. That'll be the first video we play after the monologue. So, anyway, let's get going here. I don't know if I said this yesterday or not. Cash bail system drives mass incarceration of the poor. Lawsuit against Detroit. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I wanted to make sure I did. It may turn out France was complicit in Saudi war crimes in Yemen, says a member of an investigative group. Nearly 24 U.S. schools on lockdown as FBI hunt for armed and extremely dangerous teenager. That has, and I mentioned that last night, as I recall, with breaking news. However, that woman, and it'll be in the headlines here in a little bit, that woman was found deceased. So, an apparent, quote-unquote, gunshot wound, I think to the head, it said. So, you know how that goes. Syria and Iran slam U.S. economic terrorism and urge diplomacy. Unfriended, Facebook under fire from media, baying for blood. Trump vetoes congressional resolution to end U.S. support on Saudi-led Yemen war. Now, like, and we are changed to the video on this too. It makes no sense. Like, our government, Congress, they can't agree to anything, right? And they passed this resolution just, I don't know if it was quite unanimous or close. If not unanimous, it was very close to unanimous. And they can't even agree on anything. They can't even agree on what color the sky is. And they actually pass this common sense resolution, and Trump vetoes it. Now, if that don't tell you that he's a lapdog for the deep state, I don't know what will. Again, there are a lot of people in this country, they think they're woke, and they're not looking at the writing on the wall. It's right in front of your face. Who do you think controls the deep state? Largely is the deep state. Israel. Hands down, Israel. Who's he a lapdog for? It's right there. Whether or not we choose to be honest with ourselves, that's not neither here nor there, nor is that my problem or anybody else's problem. You know, that's a personal issue that I would suggest you look into. But we have to look at the facts. We have to look at what is actually happening and stop listening to words. Right? Because we are a society that is nothing but cults of personality. And, you know, as long as somebody says the right thing, we'll hang on to that regardless of the facts, regardless of what they actually do. Try not to be like that. Because it makes life so much simpler when you look at one's actions. Don't pay attention to the words. Look at the actions. Let's see. Japan asks U.S. troops to behave, not cause anxiety after Marine kills local girlfriend and himself. Iranian parliament declares U.S. Central Command a terrorist organization. India has vast arsenal of Russian-made weapons and seeks to expand it. Trump opens Cuba up to property confiscation lawsuits, angering allies and foes alike. Discriminatory censorship ? GoFundMe bans anti-vaccine crowdfunding. I'm telling you, man, when there's an agenda, they won't stop pulling out the plugs. Russia becoming a leading world food supplier, says the Agriculture Ministry. Russia's aluminum giant Rusal makes first U.S. investment since sanctions lifted. EU to use all means necessary to defend its firms in Cuba against U.S. lawsuits. Of course, they're mowing too today. Out trader out. Violent clashes as massive pro-Assange protest hits Ecuador's capital. Cancer-linked paint banned over 15 years ago, used by British military until the start of 2019. Vigilante death squads using Facebook and Twitter to hunt gang suspects in Kenya. Former Peruvian President Alan Garcia shoots himself moments before arrest, and he did die. Switzerland backs China's new Silk Road as Western allies twiddle their thumbs. Nuts, ketchup, and bicycle pedals. I know, what the hell could they have in common? Apparently, EU's targeting U.S. goods with retaliatory sanctions. Hawaii CEO says 5G tech is like nuclear bomb for U.S. Cautions against new Cold War. CIA showed Trump photos of sick kids and dead ducks so he would expel Russian diplomats. Trying to get through these as quick as I can. I don't know how loud that is in you guys' ears, but Trump is Saudi Arabia's servant as he refused to end U.S. support of Yemen war, says Tulsi Gabbard. Teen suspected of planning Columbine-style massacre dead. I told you about that a while ago. U.S. cracking down on tourism, remittances, and banking in Cuba sanctions push, says Bolton. Venezuela sanctions serve warning to external actors like Russia against helping Maduro, says Bolton. I'm telling you, things are heating up. Get ready. And then this came out after I started the show. Attorney General William Barr will hold press conference to discuss Mueller report at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays. So, get ready. I'm telling you, get ready. Make sure you're prepared to the best of your ability. Okay, let me go ahead and wrap up the monologue, and we will go from there. If you're here for the live show, stick around. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching the recording of the monologue, thank you very much. As always, God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.